Hey, MK3 fam, it's your girl Works. I want to talk about Lovecraft Country, episode number 8, Jig-a-bobo. But before I get into that, I wanted to discuss the fact that I do like that Lovecraft Country definitely tries to bring in some actual historical events into the show, especially since they deal with so much stuff around, revolving around the civil rights movement. So you know how Uncle George, he had that traveler's guide for black people, so they know where that was could travel safely. That was a real thing. There was a couple people who did that in real life, but one in particular was Victor Hugo Green, and he had the Negro Traveler's Green Book. That's the one that I was familiar with. And he published that from 1936 to 1966. He actually passed in 60, but his wife kept it going until 1966. And this would be places that he had traveled, be it restaurants, hotels, or locations where they didn't have hotels that catered to black people. He listed safe houses where you could rent a room for the night. So, that was a real thing. And Dee's friend, Dee, the daughter of George and Hippolyta, her friend named Bobo, he actually has passed in this episode, and they were outside dealing with waiting for his funeral to start. And Bobo was his nickname, but his real name was supposed to be Emmett Till. And Emmett Till was the 14-year-old that was brutally and horribly murdered. He was kidnapped, beaten, and murdered because a married white woman said that he came into her establishment and spoke inappropriately to her. And his mother made sure that he had an open casket. He was dumped in the river or some body of water, and she made sure that he had an open casket because she wanted people to see what they had done to her son. And so those are those images that have been floating around for many, many years. And I just think that, it's good that they touch on so many real things. And but let's get into it. So the episode starts off with everyone congregating outside, waiting to get into view Emmett Till's body and to go to his memorial service. And they were talking about, Dee was saying what was that smell? Because it was the summertime. It was hot, so his body was obviously going through decomp. But can anybody tell me why Dee decides to go off on her own instead of staying safe with the people that she came with? Because now she done got snatched up by Captain Lancaster, and he done put a whole curse on her. And oh goodness. We all agree on two things. One, GI should have never came from South Korea. She didn't come to bring any valuable information. And two, them things that was chasing Ruby, they was a little freaky and scary. And you know what? Let's make it three things. Why did not Ruby, why did Dee not tell any of the adults what was happening to her? This is what I'm talking about everybody keeping secrets. That's all it is. Everybody's keeping secrets. Okay, so Captain Lancaster explained that. He said that the curse would prevent her from telling anyone. And that's true. When she did try to talk, when Diana, aka Dee, tried to talk and tell Letty that one of those monsters was there, she choked up. Like her throat just choked up on her. But she couldn't have wrote it down. I mean, come on now. Ugh. Did y'all notice how Montrose and Tick are becoming closer now that we know Letty is pregnant, and Tick knows that he's supposed to die, so he wants to do anything to live for his son. So that's making Montrose, who, is his father, want to be a better man for him, which is great. And did y'all see how Diana um, was smart enough not to make a deal with Captain Lancaster, because anybody that would curse a child, you sure enough can't trust them. They not gonna be honest on the back end. Please believe that. And I tell you, even though she's a little girl, she got some gumption to her, some spitfire, because you saw her getting ready for those two things that was following her. Those two I don't know what they are called. I can't think of it right off the top of my head. But she was ready to take them out as best she could. She was tired of running. So she said, nope, they're not going to follow me forever. If I'm cursed, I'm going to do something. I like that. So the episode, it looks like at the end of it, we see that the protection spell that Montrose did for Tick worked. The invulnerability spell that Christina did for Letty worked because she walked straight through bullets and nothing happened to her. Unfortunately, Diana D, she's still cursed, and it looks like they're trying to make us like Christina, because Christina was definitely being a cold-hearted lady of privilege, and the fact that she wanted to try and understand some of what Emmett Till went through after she was saying she didn't care, but then she tried to put herself physically in the space of what he went through and had those men do all those things to her just so she could have a better understanding. I guess she really do have feelings for Ruby. And I'm mad now that it's only 2 more episodes, because it's seeming like it's going to be really good. And HBO, they'll make you wait a year and some change before they bring a season back. And Hippolyta is still not back. So, if you still are not watching Lovecraft Country, please go ahead on and watch yourself some Lovecraft Country, alright? So, I'll be back to talk about episode 9, alright? Y'all have a wonderful week. Thank you for all the support you give. Hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and you guys know what it is. Lovecraft Country.